I am Professor Mahfouz Jamali, and today we have a guest, Professor Sama Sanbel. Professor Sanbel, would you please introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. My name is Sama. I'm a professor of computer science, and I've been at Sacred Heart for 7.5 years now. And I'm mostly responsible for accreditation of our school, as well as being department chair
Oh,
currently.
of course, and we learned that we recently got our ABIT accreditation. And would you please explain a little bit about some facts about the ABIT accreditation, and especially how it is different than the ACSB accreditation?
So the ABIT is really the main accrediting body worldwide for really three fields: computing in general, engineering, all specialities, as well as natural sciences like biology, chemistry, and physics. This is kind of the field. And we just this fall, like literally a few weeks ago, we got accredited both programs, the computer engineering and the electrical engineering. And this is actually quite a big deal because for those particular majors, having accreditation really is the door opener for our students to get jobs later on.
Oh, that's so fantastic. And we always hear a lot about the ACSB accreditation process. Well, when it's accreditation year or the visit year, we do the entire college. But of course, the assessments are done at program levels. Is it the same case for the ABIT accreditation?
Yes, actually, our AOL process is almost identical to the AACSB process, but because we are a smaller school, it feels that it's easier for us. But it's exactly the same, literally word by word almost. The main difference is they don't really look at the strategic plan and that kind of process. They really emphasize, other than the AOL, they look at the what do we teach? That's their thing. You want to make sure that we're teaching the correct stuff. This is the emphasis. So in the year before the visit, we put lots of time and energy into getting the good course files, because this is really where they look to make sure we're teaching what we're supposed to be teaching. That's the main emphasis, really.
And I will ask Sama, for our ACSB's accreditation, each program defines their own competency goals and learning objectives. Is it the same for the ABIT, or do they have a preset competency goals that you need to fulfill?
Yeah, actually, it's different in that they give us our goals, but we don't call them goals. We call them student outcomes. So, and they don't really change much. So they've been kind of static for the last maybe 5 or 6 years, and we just have to make sure we follow them. And they do make sense. They say like that students must learn how to be a good designer, problem solver, how to implement stuff, how to self-learn. Ethics is a big deal. They emphasize oral skills and written skills. They all really make sense. So everybody, I think, would agree with those student outcomes, not goals.
Not goals. Okay, the wordings are different, goals
Yes.
versus outcomes, but we all want that our students will learn.
Yes.
That's our objective. So, what are the programs we already have accredited, and what next we will see or your team will work on for the accreditation?
Right. So actually, the school now has 6 undergrad programs and 2 graduate ones. So because we can do it one program at a time, we got a good idea. We said, let's do them slowly. So our first batch was the three old programs, the undergrad CS, undergrad IT, and undergrad game design. And we got lots of experience. So the next batch, which we just finished, was computer engineering and electrical engineering. Now we're done with those. The next batch coming up is cybersecurity. The goal is for 2027. And
Mhm.
then the last batch coming in would be the graduate programs. We're planning for maybe 2030 or 32 later on. So this is a nice thing. We can take it, one step at a time, slowly, and gain experience as we go. So we don't get overwhelmed with suddenly doing like 8 programs together. We
Oh,
don't have the manpower for that.
that's so fantastic. That is fantastic that you are doing the undergraduate programs first
Yes.
and one or two programs at a time. Once we will be done with your our all undergraduate programs, then you're gonna start the grad programs. By that time, you will learn a lot and the process will seems better, like to smoother in the
Yes.
future.
It
And
should get easier. Yeah.
yeah, easier too. And your
Mm.
faculty are also being expert on it. For the ACSB, accreditation and the entire process, we follow some set of standards. We call it the ACSB standards. Currently, we are following the latest one is the ACSB's 2020 standards. So maybe every 5, 7, or 10 years, they revise the standards. Is it the same thing? The ABIT also changes their criteria or standard every year or in every 5, 10 years?
Yes, actually, we do change a lot. So every December, roughly the last week of December, they publish what we call the new criteria. We don't call it standard, we call it criteria.
Criteria.
And usually there is like small change here or there, nothing big. So like this year, we just read it through and we only have one small change, if you will. They require the faculty to be current in the field. This is the change for this year. So we
Mhm.
just need to prove that you go to conferences, we do, like activities and so on. Last year, that was a big change. They said everybody must study cybersecurity.
Oh,
That
wow.
was a big
Yeah,
change. So to do
that's
that, we
key.
had
Yeah,
actually to change our curriculum. We had
yeah.
to include cybersecurity for the computer science students, the game design students, the IT. So that was a big change last year. And let's see what's going to happen this December. But usually it's small changes every
All
year.
changes.
So
And do they give you time to implement the change? For example,
yes,
the new change about faculty, it sounds like the faculty qualification. So do
yes,
they
correct.
decide time, okay, in 2 or 3 years, you need to
Yes.
show this change in effect?
Yes, they're kind of easy on that. So usually we get 2, 3 years kind of, to work on that. It doesn't have to be implemented this year. But we like to start early, because this
Yeah.
kind of changing the culture takes some time. We
Yes.
got started already this semester, kind of to get people used to it. So by the time, we're ready for accreditation, we're all comfortable with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
And for
great.
engineering, there wasn't any changes last year. So hopefully nothing this year.
Yeah, a small change, a small
Every
attempts
year.
at a time every year.
Yeah.
That's great. I'm learning a lot about the ABIT accreditation. And Sama, would you like to recognize any of your faculty who contributed a lot for our recent accreditation process?
Yeah, actually, the whole last year, the engineering faculty did an amazing job. We only have 3 people, actually four if you count Mike. So those people really worked extremely hard. The leader for the engineering side was Professor Kevin Bolin. He really did an amazing job. And right behind him, supporting him a lot, was Professor Tolga Kaya because he's running that program. And then Professor OK has lots of experience in this, so he really helped a lot, especially in the course files, because this is really where he supported us. And one person really who did a lot of actual work in the lab was Mr. Michael Altus because he's responsible for the lab. So we had to get our lab all prepared. We did some nice posters for them. So there was a whole lot of preparation last year to get, things working. And everything was perfect. And we really got a perfect accreditation. So thanks to all 3 of them, for doing this hard
Thank
work.
you. And of course, your leadership, that also matters. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
you and your team. And now, would you please say a little bit about those accreditation and how those program accreditation, especially undergraduate level, will impact on our enrollment in future and how we can promote it to increase our reputation?
Right. So actually the accreditation there's 2 ways to go. If you are on a computing side, it's a good thing to have, but it's not necessary. So for the CS, the IT and the game design program, this really will help a lot in promoting our program. Engineering is very different. This is life or death for them. No accreditation, no jobs, and then no students for us. So it was particularly important that we get the engineering programs accredited as soon as possible. And the fastest we can go is once we have some graduates. So we graduated students. So now we can proudly say that every single student who left Sacred Heart is from an accredited engineering program. This really opens jobs and opportunities for those kids. So it's not a luxury, it's something that we really have to do.
Ah, that's great. That's amazing. And I heard about your game design and
Yeah.
development program.
That's our cool program. Yeah.
Yes,
That's the coolest program.
and that is only two programs are accredited worldwide, and we
Yes,
are one
there's
of
lots of
them.
yeah, there are lots of game designs programs everywhere, but they're all very like low tech, it's just technical stuff without any really like core science. Our program is very unique because it has lots of, core computer science skills, lots of coding. It's a very rigorous program, the game design. It's really not an easy program at all. It's really quite strong. So very few colleges even try to accredit it. So we're only one of two. The other one is in Georgia.
Oh,
That's in the
wow.
whole world, not just in the US. So it's pretty rare to get a high quality game program, accredited.
That's so great. We are proud of ourselves. And how about the IT, information technology
Yeah,
program?
yeah. So computer science, there's lots of schools who has computer science accreditation. IT is a little bit more rare. So actually right now we're the only school in Connecticut that has, an accredited IT program. So we got accredited in 2022 and we're still the only one now.
That's so great. So our faculty did an amazing job. We ensured those accreditation. Now we need to promote those, and definitely it will have a huge impact on our enrollment and especially student placement. Thank you very much, Sama. I think this information will be very useful whomever wants to know about ABIT. And thank you for your time. Thank you again for all your faculty who spent tremendous amount of time and effort. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And thank you for leading in the AOL, the whole school. That's quite a big job in itself. Thank you very much.
Thank you.